We get by. It's fine. All right, we're already live. Sick. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the final race of the regular season. Going to you from the Lone Star State, Texas Motor Speedway. Everybody's just gotten done qualifying, so we have Mark McAtack up in the booth to give us the rundown of the starting lineup.
Alrighty, Walbridge, how we doing, sir?
Doing all right.
Alrighty, well, got Texas tonight. Last race of the regular season. So after tonight, there will be 12 drivers that will advance to the playoffs, which will start next week at Richmond. So cutoff race tonight should be interesting to see who the 12 will be. So got that to look forward to, but here is the starting lineup tonight for Texas. Got myself in the 22, Mark McAtack starting on the pole. Starting second, we got Garth in the 15. Starting third is Cope in the 24. Fourth is Coltrickle in the 19. And rounding out the top five will be doing work in the 62. Starting sixth, we got P. Fulton in the 18. Starting seventh, we got Chief in the 9. Eighth is JRC Indy in the 38. Ninth, we got Team 95 in the 5 car. And rounding out the top 10 will be Jay White in the 16. Let's see, 11th, we have 19mm in the 78. 12th is Sling in the 3. 13th, we got Dog in the 41. 14th, we got Hootie in the 99. And round out shotgun of the field, starting 15th, will be Band 1 in the 8. So, got a 15-car field tonight, so pretty good size. So, should be a good race.
Awesome. I am excited.
Yes, sir. All right, well, we're going to get ready to go, so we'll let you know when we're ready.
Alrighty.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yeah. And there is your starting lineup. Mark McAtack sitting on pole for the season finale at Texas. And we'll do a little bit of a points rundown so that way you can see what the cutoff line looks like for that last spot. Right now, doing work, sitting in the 12th position in points, is ahead by, if I could do math, about 16, my bad. 16 points ahead of that 8-car Band 1, and boy, does he have work to do, starting shotgun on the field, back in 15th. As Copenhagen and doing work have been working their tails off to try and get back into the top 12. Copenhagen held that 12th spot last week. Band 1 after having the race not go his way last week, as I closed out of that so that way I can remember where the hell we were last week. Over at Sonoma. Yeah, no, not a lot of people in the points having good runs at Sonoma, but hopefully they can make up for it here at Texas. As we wait for drivers to go live and in, as we are sitting here waiting for the lobby to go up. I tell you what, though, these playoffs are looking very interesting. A lot of fast drivers in these playoffs. A lot of new guys, though, unable to really, like JRC Indy came in really late in the season. Hasn't been able to put enough good runs together to even have a shot at it. Danny MD. After he got that win, I thought we were going to start seeing that him surge through the field and start becoming a weekly winner. But hey, I mean, he had a hell of a win. I believe it was at Michigan, and he called one of the best races I've ever seen on strategy call. Just wasn't able to really do much after that race. But band one, the first car on the outside looking in. It sounds like these guys are getting ready to go. I'm saying my trigger finger is on the button. What an exciting season, though, we've had so far. I mean, Mark McAtack has been... So we're getting the join. As YouTube's still having those weird glitchy streaming problems, which is awesome. So we're going to go back on to Jay White and watch through his perspective because it's just a little better than watching through Garv. I'm still going to keep Garv in my list. Just not really panning out right now, but we muscle through. Now the drivers lining up to take the green. And there they go. Green flag out of Texas. Mark McAtack leads him through. Garv, who started second, falls in line. Copenhagen falling in third. Cole Trickle is stuck on the outside, loses a spot to Doing Work, who started in fifth. And a bunch of 2x2. There you see the 9 of Chief underneath the 18 of Pushin' P. Fulton. Here comes Team 95 trying to get to his inside. Can't do it. Jay White taking a little shortcut through the grass. Back up at the front, though. The 19 took a peek to the inside of Doing Work in the 62. Got better of it as everybody now single file. And Mark McAtack in the Pennzoil Yellow 22 is going to lead the way as we complete lap number 3 here in stage 1. 52 laps is how long this stage will be. Oh, and back farther down, Indy, missing the bottom a little bit. Left Chief a lane on the inside, but Chief unable to capitalize and get underneath the 38. Pete Fulton missing the exit of 4. That's going to allow a lane for the 5. He was unable to take his shot to make a move. Everybody pretty content running single file here. 5 gets a little squirrely out of 2, able to keep it straight. We go back to the front of the 22 of Mark McAtack. Garv. And listening to the driver's reaction after qualifying, Garv seemed to be the big surprise here. His car seemed to have some consistency to it in his setup, so we'll see how that translates to the rest of this race. Right now, where is the 8 of Band 1? Band 1 still running shotgun on the field in the 8 car. Might have to be a strategy day for that number 8. Where if the car can't win you the race, you gotta grab it by the reins and do it yourself. So we'll obviously keep an eye. There you see in 3rd and 4th the guys who are on the cut line. The 24 Copenhagen and the 62 of Doing Work. Ooh, Garv missing the bottom there. Cope tried to take a peek. The 15 cutting the nose off. It looks like everybody... Ooh, little bit of jostling back here. The 5 of Team 95. That's a slip up and loses some spots. It appears these guys have lost the lead pack. What about this 18 of P. Fulton? Had a decent starting position, starting in about 6th. Right now, runs an 8th. Just on the outside looking in of this lead pack. Oh, the 38 missing the bottom. That's going to give the 9 of Chief a run. JRC Indy going to drop in line. That's actually going to help out the 18. As that's going to allow him to catch that 38's draft and be able to keep himself with this lead group. As everybody pretty spread out. So you mean you got this little group of 3 behind the lead pack, but everybody behind them just spread out, clicking laps. There's no real changes. Besides that little jostling there is now the 62. As I say that. Oh, there's a yellow. An in-game yellow. For what purpose does this yellow fly? Oh! Oh, we found it. It is the 99 of Hootie Hoo. Not a car we typically see get involved in anything. Hey, the band one able to stay clear of it. But a caution falls at Texas, allowing the guys to come down pit road and make some adjustments on their rides. And now we get lined back up. The line of cars will take the green with Mark McAtack at the helm. Ooh, and Cope, a really good restart on that inside. Oh, a lot of drivers hitting the apron, trying to hold that bottom as tight as they can. Wow. We're going to go back here to the 62 of Doing Work. He's trying to get through to 3rd. Jay White, you saw in the back there, caught the apron. He's going to slide up and let the 5 to his inside. But we stay here with 3rd. 62 of Doing Work wins that fight. And now the 19 of Cole Trickle trying to get underneath the 15 of Garv. Outside the line, not where you want to be on these restarts. Garv looking like he's going to lose the fight for 4th. But a 4-car, now 3-car train to the outside's not seeming to be very beneficial. As Garv continuing to drop. But look at the cutoff line drivers. Copenhagen. This is a track where Cope can try and grab a win to officially lock himself into the championship 12. Oh, and here he goes to the inside of Mark McAtack. Oh boy, there. Oh, the 18 in the wall. The 8's through. What a move by Band 1. Oh, the 16 of Jay White's around. No caution. We stay green, but what a move by the 8 of Band 1. There wasn't much of a gap there, but he sure as hell made one. While all that was going on, we were trying to get a look as to what was happening. Copenhagen did successfully get himself to the lead. The 62 of Doing Work unable to get himself by Mark McAtack as Mark only loses 1 spot. There was a potential to knock him down to 3rd, but unsuccessful was Doing Work at doing so. Oh, no! As I was looking away, Copenhagen not only loses the lead, but he loses a ton of spots. The 16 down pit road to fix the damage he sustained during that wreck. That'll put him a lap down. A lap down plus, actually. Now we go to the 15 of Garb stream. Is Mark McIntyre now back up in the lead? 62 up to second now. All it takes, one slip up. And how about that 38? 38 of Indy. He started outside the top 5, now inside the top 5, sitting 4th, trying to see if he can get by that 19 to get himself into the top 3. As YouTube is being tricky as hell right now. We're going to try something. I'm actually really hoping this works because that'd be hilarious, and that might be the way I watch my streams from now on. Yeah, the stream's valid. Ooh! 62! Here he comes! Doing work! To the inside of the 22! This is not what Mark McIntyre wants right now, probably. Which is to drop to about 7th. Oh, no! Doing work, missing the bottom, but he does have Mark McIntyre behind him to try and keep him in front of the 19. He sends it into 1, and he'll stay ahead of Cole. And McIntyre able to stay in that second spot. The 38 of Indy missing the bottom. And that'll drop him a couple spots as we see that 24 Cope working his way back into the top 5 after losing the lead. Ooh, and he's got the 9 of Chief behind him. They stack up a little bit going into 1. 28 laps to go. And about a handful laps away from our first green flag pit stop. We already had the yellow, but it seems like everybody just made adjustments to their car. As now we go back to single file racing. And how about the 62? We talked about the season he was having. He's been doing extremely well. Almost got a top 3 at Sonoma again. Almost finishing in the top 3. Hootie hoo. About to go a lap down here. So it looks like that car was just exiting pit road. Setting themselves up for a better stage 2. Or at least an attempt at a better stage 2. But this 62 has been finishing top 5 every week for the last 7 to 8 weeks, I believe, since Bristol. Which, I want to look back, 21 or 7 laps to go. Here goes the car signaling that they're going to pit. It looks like the 22, the 62. Green flag stops could be happening right now. Here they come, the leaders. First 4. No, I just realized well, I was going to say, can't hear if anybody got a speeding penalty. That's fun. Yeah, since Bristol, which was race number 10. So, yeah, really for the last 5 weeks, this 62 has finished very well. He's been up in the booth for like 4 weeks straight since Bristol. Then Sonoma just wasn't able to keep that 62 in the top 3. And there goes the top 3 now, signaling they're coming down. As I try to get myself back alive here on my bloody stream, As there is the 22. Right now, your race leader got it back from the 62. There is the 15 of Garv. No, that is not the 15 of Garv. Sorry, that is the 78 of 19mm who's coming off of pit road. It's awesome when you have 2 cars that are damn near identical. I've only made that mistake a couple of times this season, and I'm pretty proud of that. But now the field very spread out. The 38 of Indy. We're going to look on Garv as these guys just exit pit road. You see the time lost. As Indy now up into the 3rd spot. So now we've seen what happens when we stay out a lap later. The adjustment will be made that short pitting the field can be very beneficial to you. So I want to say we don't need to pit again for the rest of this stage. We'll see when Garv crosses the line. No, we do. 21 laps to go. There will need to be another pit stop unless these guys really feel like fuel saving. Ooh, things getting dicey there with the lap 99 of Hootie Hoo. That 38 of Indy, that made him make a misstep, and that allowed Cole Trickle to get to his inside. Now move the 19 back into the top 3 and move the 38 down to 4th. We jump back to Mark McAtack and doing work. Right now running 1-2. Doing work. Gotta do his best to stay in that draft. Got to expect everybody that's behind now, especially the 19 and 38, going to try and do the same thing the 22 did to Garv, which is to short pit as we see Garv way back here with Cope. Garv going to come down this time. Got to expect it's going to, be fuel only. And here he comes, the 15 down, the 78, the 18, and the 99. An interesting strategy call. We see this sometimes where guys, when they need to make another pit stop, will come down about 3 to 4 laps after they originally did to top off to finish the stage. Usually you see this kind of thing at the end of the race, but hey, why not now? Now the leader's still going around. Garv back on track. Running in about 10th. Here is a 24 of Copenhagen. He is down by himself. No other cars. There's one coming down pit road. I'm trying to figure out. Oh, it's the 16 of Jay White. And now we go back to Mark and Dewan. Still no one ducking to the bottom yet to come down for fuel. I mean, you really don't have to right now. It's 16 to go. I'm actually... Oh, God. Who was that? I think that was Slingshot Rodeo. It was Slingshot that decided to imprint the 3 signature to the infield. Now we wait anxiously. Lap by lap, waiting for the, top 7. Or 8 now, 7 now as the 3 just came down pit road. So the rest of the top 7 still have to pit. Mark McAttack being your leader. The 62 doing work, running second. The 19 of Cole Trickle third. The 38 of JRC Indy running in fourth. And rounding out the top 5 being that 9 of Chief. Team 95 sitting in 6th. Banwan in 7th right now. Garva's made his way back up to 8th. Ahead of Copenhagen, who runs 9th. And 1-9 who rounds out the top 10. And here they come, the 22 and the 62 are down pit road. The 19 came down the last lap. I totally missed that. With the 5 of Team 95. Who I'm just going to say by looking at it, looks like he might have had a penalty. And that might end his first stage. That's all right. That's why there's multiple. It's JRC Indy running in the lead right now. He's going to run it all the way until this stage, or at least till pretty close to stage ends, or try and save 2 laps as the 9 of Chief running behind him. Right now behind the 41 of Dog Pound. That is Dog Pound, yes. Had to be sure. Ooh, the 62 and the 41 careen into the wall. And actually, this kind of works out for the 38. Staying behind the 41 allows him to use that draft and save a little bit of fuel. He only really needs to save 2 or 3 laps to be able to make it to the end. So, can he come in here and steal a stage? He does have the number 9 of Chief, who runs in second. He has not come down pit road yet. Oh, is the 38 might not be able to save all that fuel. And it looks like he just signaled that he's going to come down this time as we wait to see. Out of turn 4, he comes down. We go back to the 9 of Chief, who assumes the race lead after the 38 pits. It's all about watching him go to the bottom. That's his signal. The 9 gonna come down this time. Drops out of the racing line. And this all to save time. By running consistent laps on the track, allows you to save time on pit road at the end of the stage so you can be in and out in No time at all as the 15 of Garv still runs third. Right now, second. Trying to figure out who... Oh, the 9's still your leader, so this would be your race leader. If he can beat out the 9, there's Chief. We go back to the 15. He's going to pass him. And look at what the strategy call made by Chief had accomplished. There's nobody in the top 5 near him. And there is the rest of the top 5. The 22, 62, 24, the 19. All miles. The 9 now going to rejoin this little lead group here. Going to get picked up by the 24 Copenhagen. But it's all about Garv right now. As when he crosses the line, there will be 4 laps to go. Oh man, it was working so well. Damn it. Just lost my stream. 3 laps remain. There we go. I got it back. Oh, thank God. Coming around for 2 to go. There is no... There you see Mark McAttack off in the distance, but there's no way that with the way Garv's running right now, with 2 to go, he'll be able to catch him. I mean, Garv is on an island by himself and doing work, and Mark are locked together. But Garv gonna go into turn 3. He'll see the stands as he exit 4. There you see the flag stand. 1 lap to go here in stage 1. And there you see, they are closing in. Still over a second and a half. About 1.7. Garv with only a lap of fuel, but it'll be enough to do it. Garv will exit 4. He'll see the green and white checkered. Garv in the 15 wins stage 1. There you see how close the 22 came. But still finishes second, doing work third. Chief will finish 4th. Copenhagen will round out your top 5. As we wait for the rest. So it was Cole Trickles 6th, JRC Indy in 7th, P. Fulton 8th, 19mm 9th. We're rounding out your top 10, the 5 of Team 95. So even with that time penalty, Team 95 still gets a stage point. But this car, the 15 of Garv, on strategy wins the stage. Nobody else did the call he made except for the 78 of 19. Now as we get ready to go again, green flag falls at Texas once more. What a start by the 22. All right, Mark McAttack is able to get the lead back. Garv might be trying to do some fuel strategy. Ooh, a lot of guys trying to get squirrely in the back. And oh no, here comes the 24 underneath the 62 doing work. Will Doohan be able to clear him going into 3? No. The 24 stays to his inside. The 62 pinching, and he will stay in 3rd. Doing work on the cutoff line. Doing what he can to stay in the top 3. Cope now dropping a little bit here. The 38 all the way to the apron. Oh, God. As we go back to the lead, Mark McAtack continues to lead. Oh, the 62 going way wide. That'll not only lose him 3rd, it could potentially drop him to 5th. The 9 to his inside. There is a car length between the 9 and the 78. But that gap closing. 1-9 to his inside. And the 62 drops out of the top 5. He was sitting 3rd. One mistake and he could drop all the way down. Right now he sits 6th. Will the 5 let him in? He does. 6th is where the 62 falls. One misstep, especially off of a restart, could spell disaster. As that could have been much worse, honestly. 5 being very nice and letting him in line. Mark McAtack. That was a hell of a restart by the 22. Like I said, I think it was the 15's game to ride in his coattails. And try and conserve a little bit here. Not to try and extend how long you stay out of pit road, but decrease the amount of time you spend on pit road when you get there. A second is a second, and a couple tenths matter a lot on pit road, especially at a place like Texas. As now you see the field starting to get spread out again. The 5 losing track of the lead group, and there you see the 22 stepping out, gonna let the 15 go by. He's got to be careful though. He's got Cope, and Cope's not gonna be that nice and let him in, especially when he's a cutoff driver. And the 9 of Chief, what about this 9 car? Worked his way, now fighting for a top 3 spot. He's got to stay with the 24. Oh, but it looks like the 22 going to hold pace in 3rd. Garb right now is still leading. Double checking my stream is live. 11 laps of 49. A little bit shorter stint here in stage 2. 11 complete. Another 39 to go. Look at how spread out this field is now. The 62 are doing work, sitting in the 6th spot. Miles ahead of Team 95, Cole Trickle and Indy. Back there in 7th, 8th, and 9th. Mark McIntyre in a very unfamiliar spot here. He usually sits no worse than 2nd. Right now sits 3rd. And you know what? I think he's pretty content with that. Now as he gets a chance at some fuel saving. As he sits behind the 24 of Copenhagen. Scarv, I think, is looking to add another tally to the win column. I think he already has a win this season. Here we go back into the points to double check and clarify on that. Yes, he does have a win this season. So yes, looking to add another tally. Has a stage win already on what was a very good strategy call that really nobody else did in the top 5. And it paid off in spades. So we're going to see. The problem is everybody's seen the trick now. As we are now on lap 17 of 49. And this top 6, look at doing work. All the way to the outside wall. Because now you see the 15, the 9, signaling that they are pitting this time. And I think the 62 did everything to say he was not. Usually the drivers will go down to the apron to signal to everybody that they're coming down this time. And the 62 is up by the wall in turn 2. So I'm pretty sure that was his sign saying, I'm not pitting. Here goes the 24, the 22, and the 62. The 78 of 19 millimeter is running in the 3rd spot. Not going to come down this time. Going to stay out another lap. We see. Ooh, the 19 comes down too. The 99 as well. There you see the rest of the leaders. The 9 and the 38 and the 15. The Garv is out. We're going to follow along with Garv as he's got to make it all the way back around before the rest of the leaders come down. The 78 right now being shown as your race leader, but he still has to pit. As he is pitting right now. So back to the 15 we go. He's now exiting turn 4. When he comes back around across the line, we'll see. There they are. The group of 3 coming off of pit road. He's got to get to them. Did pitting a lap sooner pay off? Copenhagen, your leader. Here comes the 15. He'll get by Mark. Doing work. But he will not get by Cope. What a pit stop by the 24 to give him the lead. Or the presumable lead. There are the cars that are being shown right now. The 5 is your leader, and there they go on by. As Copenhagen now leads at Texas. Excuse me. 20 laps complete. And Mark, now not only was he running in 3rd, now he's running 5th. That's crazy. But Copenhagen, your leader now. The 78 able to move himself up to 6th with his strategy call, pitting in that later half of that green flag cycle. But still more to come on pit as far as pit road is concerned here in stage 2. as they are still expected to make at least... Oh, no, definitely at least one more stop. It might be two. But we shall see. I mean, who knows? We had a caution in stage one. Throw a wrench into the strategy. I do not anticipate us having that same thing happen here in stage two. But hey, crazier things have happened. Oh, there you see the 22 of Mark McAtack trying to make a little move past Chief, and it works! Making the outside work. That's a rarity. Chief falls to 5th, the 22 up to 4th. And what a sight we saw last week with the 22. He was the one starting shotgun to the field at Sonoma, got himself into the top 5 in stage 1. Finished second, stage 2, I believe. But just in the closing laps, was able to get by. I believe it was Garv who was leading. No, I think it was Copenhagen. It's one of the two. And snagged the win. And now Mark up to 3rd. The 62 of Doing Work falls to 4th. So Mark really starting to make his way through this now top 5. As we now wait to see when these guys come down pit road next. Can give you an exact timeline. It'll be somewhere around 20 laps from when they exited pit road, so I gotta say it'll be right around lap 40. So with about 10 to go in the stage, yeah, they got 22 laps to go. So yeah, right around lap 40, so it's gonna be the same way that stage 1 ended, where could have guys immediately coming down pit road like Garv did, or coming down more towards the end of the stage and trying to take less time on pit road. I mean, stage 1 worked out pretty well for Garv, so we'll see how stage 2 goes. Ooh, I thought we had a fight for the lead going. Looked like Garv was peeking to the inside, and he actually was. Thought he had a run. Tried to snag the lead, but just couldn't outpace the 24 down the backstretch. Falls back in line in second. I just saw it on the stream. The stream's pretty far behind. Not terribly. Well, just a little farther than usual, but 19 laps remain. 31 laps ticked, coming to 32. When the 24 crosses the line. 31 in the books, the start of lap 32. is why don't we? Let's do a rundown through the field. You see the 24 sitting first. 15 of Garv in second. Mark McAttack third. Doing work in fourth. The 9 of Chief rounding out your top 5. Back there is the 19 of Cole Trickle. He sits sixth. There is the 78 of 19mm sitting in seventh. And there was a 5 from Team 95. Whoa! Hooty-hoo! Doing a little bit of dirt racing. Putting on a show for those sitting on the front stretch grandstands. And now waving to the crowd down the backstretch. Oh, part of the Bidet Brothers, the 8 car of Band 1 down pit road. There you see the 5 of Team 95. He is also making his pit stop. And here come the leaders. There you see the 15 and the 9 hugging each other before they go down into their pit boxes, as brothers do. You always hug before you pit. As the 24 are coming down, the 22 electing to stay out. Him and the 62 married together again, like an ABC movie. They're going to stay out just a little longer here. Like I said, I wasn't expecting this to happen until about lap 40. Maybe that'll be when these two decide to pit. 15 Garv is out. He rejoins the field in 5th. And he was fighting with the 9, but the 9 gives up the fight, so that way they can try and work together to maintain a steady pace, knowing that the 22 and the 62 are not working together, or at least they're not close enough to work together. I mean, I would be, if I was the 22, I'd at least fall back a little bit, so that way the 62 and I could try and work together here to clock as fast a lap as we could, but there's no need because they're pitting this time. And they stayed out an extra 3 to 4 laps. With cars like Garv and the 15, who's running third right now. 62. Oh, I think he got it. What a run. And no speeding penalty, too. What a pit entry by doing work. Because now we run on with the 15, who seems to have picked up the 9 of Chi, or the 24 of Copenhagen, sorry. I knew one of those two was new. New to this little pack here, so that's really putting the pressure on that 22. And there they are, the 62 and 22. Now exiting, they will definitely fall. Staying out that extra lap, not beneficial as Garv leads by miles. Or at least this group of 3 leads by miles over the 22 of Mark McAttack. Sits way back here. Half the straightaway, half the backstretch away from that group of 3. That's why I was saying that 3 to 4 laps, they stayed out past these 3 cars. If they could have just possibly worked together a little better, and maybe the 22 fall back to the 62, so that way they could draft through those 3 to 4 laps. I mean, that looks like a gap that could have been made up just by doing that little bit of extra work. But now Mark sits 4th. Doing work sits 5th with about 10 laps to go. I mean, math is math. 3 is better than 2. So as long as these 3 can keep themselves together here, and really stay tight to each other, Get as much out of every lap as possible. Those two behind him don't stand a chance. There's now 9 laps remain. And how about the 9, man? Chief has had a hell of a year. He started off strong, was still staying top 5, definitely top 10 throughout that middle portion. But right now, especially last week, he's really starting to have that resurgence to his season, to where he's starting to consistently fight for that top 5 finish. Right now, sitting in a very strong 3rd. And now we look at the playoff drivers, the 62, right now running in 5th. Right behind the 22 of Mark McIntyre, and these guys are actually closing them in. I was not expecting this. My math is apparently broken. 24 sitting 2nd, with beads of sweat running down their face. The 8, I want to say that I don't know. Far removed from the field he is. I want to say he's in the top 10, but only just. But look at what we've got here. The 62 and the 22 have made their way into the top 3. Mark McIntyre now not only has gone there, he's looking to take the fight to him. Past the 9, tries to get to the 24's inside. He does. And Mark McIntyre, from half a straightaway back, now sits 2nd with 5 laps to go. And now looking for the lead. Held the bottom like a pro. What happened to the 62? Oh no, doing work with an issue. Oh no. He's falling out of the top 5. And maybe could just barely be out in the top 10. That's terrible. Back up at the front, Mark McIntyre clearing away with the lead. They take 2 tires. I just did not see how this much speed could be gleaned from a fuel-only spot or stop. Like you see it by the way the cars are driving. You saw the 24 of Copenhagen unable to hold the bottom. Meanwhile, Mark in the 22 was able to wrap it very well. That looked like the 3. And it was Slingshot Rodeo on pit road. Currently in the 38 pit stall. That is interesting. 2 to go, though. Back up at the front. Coming to the white flag as we have 1 lap remaining in stage 1. And I am still in awe of what Mark and Doohan were able to accomplish. Because I have no idea what their strategy call was. I can't see what they're doing. But Mark, now with 3 car lengths, between 3 or 4 in between him and Cope, Mark will come out of turn 4. He will see the flag stand waving green and white. Mark McIntyre wins stage 2. And the 24, Copenhagen will finish 2nd. The 15 third, the 9 achieved 4th, 19mm with a top 5 finish in stage 2. And Cole Trickle will finish 6th. Team 95, 7th. Fulton, 8th, doing work. Sitting 9th. Indy rounds out the top 10. Ban one in 12th, a lap down. As we'll see what happens on pit road. Not a whole lot, but we are going to keep our eye on one guy, and that is the 62 starting way back in the field. But right now, back to the leader, the green flag waves. This, the final stage. The top 12 will be set. All the 62 has to do is finish ahead of the 8, and I'm pretty sure it'll be safe to say that he will be locked into the top 12. Oh, as you saw, the 15 missed the bottom a little bit. A little bit of a stack up behind him. Now everybody going single file. We keep our eye on the 62, the 5 of Team 95. He's going to try and follow him to the inside of the 9. Move the 5 up to 6. Move the 62 up to 7. Ooh, 1.9mm to the inside of Garv. He's going to try and take 3rd. Does. Cole goes through for 4th. Here comes the 5. The 62 got to be tight on his bumper here, but he just catches the apron on the exit of 4. And he will sneak to the inside of Garv. Move doing work from 10th or so on back. He's back into 6th. Gets a little snagged up on the 5, allowing Garv to get a run. A little bit of a stack up behind that you saw. Doing work, trying to make up from the mistake in stage 2. And what about the 5? Team 95 has spent the whole day pretty much outside of the top 5, outside of green flag pit stops. This car has been just outside of 5th, and now here he is running in 5th. Now he's got the pressure, though, of a driver looking to clinch a playoff spot. Breathing down his neck. Garvin, the 62, were looking to get racy. They think better of it. They go back to single file. And the 5 gets to hold on to 5th for a little longer. But I'm telling you, doing work's going to do everything he can to get not only back into the top 5, but up to the man in yellow. One 9mm. Talk about another guy who didn't have a great start to his race. Finished top 5 in that last stage. Really on part due to the 62, who's making the move. Doing work to the inside of not only the 5, but the 19. They got 3 wide. Doing work not only back in the top 5, but through to 4th. Garv back into the top 5 and the 15. The 5 drops to, 7th. Cole Trickle now falls outside of the top 5 as well. What a hell of a move by the 62. Oh, as the caution waves. Yellow out on the circuit. It looks like it was the 41 and the 38. So JRC Indy and Dog Pound. Yeah, you see the damage on that 38. They bring the yellow out. Throwing a wrench in it. 54 laps remaining. The time the caution flew. Should be about 50 to go when we go back green. Couple more adjustments. by these drivers as Copenhagen going to start on the pole here for this restart. Green flag back out, and there's the 62 up to third. I'm telling you what, I got a lot of faith in that 62 with doing work once these playoffs start. He's not going to have a very high starting position as he just squeaks in. But the stage points alone, his average finish alone, means he might not be at the bottom of those playoff standings for very long. Because I'm expecting big things out of doing work. But right now, Copenhagen showing why I should expect the same out of him. He's going to be low on the standings. He does have a win on the season, so that'll help. He won't be as low in the points as doing the work will be. But I'm expecting a very deep playoff run as well for the 24. Right now, he can try and add another tally to his win column. Mark McIntyre had to add more paper to put tallies on for his win column. But right now, Copenhagen, your leader, Mark McIntyre, sitting second, doing work in the 62. Sits fourth. How about the 78 of 19 millimeter? Oh, we saw a couple of cars go low there down the backstretch a little bit. That was weird. 15 Garv sits fifth. But 19, like I said, didn't have a great start to his race. Started back in the field slowly and methodically throughout this race. Has worked his way into the top 5. Now sits fourth. And look who's rejoining the fray. The 5 of Team 95, and just behind him, back on the lead lap, the 8 of Band 1. The time to go is now, and the 8 knows it, but unable to keep it off the wall. The 9 gonna go through. The 8 drops to 7. This is why you don't talk nice about people. Sometimes it doesn't end well. And now following back on along with our leader, the 24, Copenhagen. About 14 laps here remaining in this fuel cycle, or at least at max. Seeing guys undercut these pit stops, or what I think they are at. 43 laps remain here at Texas. Ooh. Full trickle. Trying to get underneath the 8 of Band 1 to move up through the field. The 18 of P. Fulton going to do the same. The 8 continuing to drop. Back up at the front, though, the 22 of Mark McIntyre. Underneath the 24 Cope. Here comes the 62 going with him. Contact! Oh, no, the 62 through the grass. 3 wide now for the second spot. Copenhagen thinks better of it. Where did the 62 rejoin the field? Way back here. I don't know if he's still ahead of the 8. I don't think so. That's disastrous. Oh, no. Trying to dodge a contact. Sent him through the grass. But look who takes advantage of it. The 5 of Team 95 puts the 5 car in third. Cope drops to fourth. 19mm drops to fifth. There you see the 8. Now ahead of the 62. Now if the 8 beats the 62, that does not lock him in. He has finished behind the 62 in both the stages. So I think if the 62 can stay on the lead lap, that will still just about lock him into the round of 12. As Mark McAtack has run out to a substantial lead over the 15 of Garv. As we're pretty much back to the way we started, with Mark in the lead, with Mark starting on pole, Garv second, Copenhagen started third, but there's a little wrench in there with the 5 of Team 95 as Copenhagen trying to find a way through, but now they're both looking to the inside of the 15, but the 5 thinks better of it. They want to keep the train going. 4 is better than 1, but I also thought 3 was better than 2. And Mark McAtack went and proved that wrong. Maybe 1 is better than 4. I don't know. I don't know what right from wrong is right now. 36 laps remaining, and look at the gap he is still forming. 1 is definitely looking better than 4 as the 24 gets by the 5. Little bit of fighting going on back here. The 38, who was down pit road, not on the lead lap, is Indy. The 8 of Band 1 trying to move his way back up to the field to the inside of the 19 of Cole Trickle goes Band 1. And just because I'm bloody curious, where is the 62 of Doing Work? Still far removed from the rest of the field. You hate to see it for how good of a run that 62 had. The round of 12 was right there. It still is. It is definitely not over yet. He still has a ton to fight for in this final stage. Here comes the 22, signaling the 24 Cope. Now the 8 has already come down. The first one down pit road, triggering the cycle to start. The 22, the 24, the 19. The 62 elects to stay out. 31 laps remain for this final stint. 15 gonna come down this time. We'll have one final stop after this one. And then after that, it's the race. But now the 5 legitimately leading laps. Here you see the 8 going by, leads a lap. Will they signal this time? Yes. The 5 does, so does the 78. I was wondering. And so now we try to find. There they are, the 22. There's the 24, Copenhagen. We've seen Cope have the speed. Can he wrap the bottom as good as the 22 to be able to maintain that speed? Here's the 15 coming out. Where will he rejoin? Behind the 22 and the 24. Not the final stop. That comes in another 20. There's more of the original top fives coming out right here. There's the 5 and the 78. So really right now the 22 and the 24 blitz the field on their pit stop. The 15 of Garv will outrun the 78 and the 5, as now the field completely spread out. The 62 has caught the 3 of Slingshot Rodeo. And where did the 8 come out? A band one, the first car to pit. He's ahead of the 38 and the 19, so still ahead of the 62. The 62 is the 8 car band one. Right now, the gap between these two cars and that 15, just Copenhagen alone, 2.5 seconds. Right now between the top two is about half a second. Now that I can see. Garv doing well to help me out. I appreciate it. I think right now we've seen that doing that group stuff might not be that beneficial, as it looks like the gap between this 22 and 24 is starting to close. Right now just ticking off laps, trying to get to the money stuff, and you gotta think that once we hit about 20 to 19 to go, you might see some risk takers. 27, so we won't see that for another 7 to 8 laps, because it's 20 laps on a full tank. So realistically, the fuel window to make it to the end opens up in about now 7 laps. And you got to think a guy like the 62 of doing work, who's stuck way back in the field now, might try and pull that risky move to be the first car down pit road. We saw it work for the 15 of Garv on that first stage. The 62 has shown that he's got that top 3 speed. But the problem is he has damage to the car, which is going to affect that. As the gap now 3/10 between Mark McAtack and Copenhagen. Copenhagen getting Mark's draft. Now starting to really, or gonna start reeling him in here. As the 38, JRC Indy might be 3 stopping it? I have no idea, because he's going to have to stop again. It's just like that. First and second, under a car length. It's Copenhagen. Yeah, he's wrapping that bottom as good as the 22 is. And I actually got to run a little bit of practice with these guys on Sunday. I know, right? I can drive. But Copenhagen, I am guessing, likes to start his runoff tight, which is why when they came off the pit road, he wasn't really able to hold that bottom. But that car will loosen up gradually throughout the run to where it'll end the run better than how it started, and he'll be able to hold that bottom better and better as the laps go by. So really setting the car up for a long run as opposed to trying to have speed early. He wants to be consistent early and have speed late. As now, here we go. Copenhagen. Underneath the 22, side by side for the race lead. And the fact that they were able to go about a good half a lap plus side by side. Now here comes the 22. The 22 with the crossover. And he makes quick work of that. As the 24 are going to try and put the bumper to him, get him to run up high. Did not pan out. Mark McAtack retains the lead. They just felt like putting on a show for us. They felt like it was getting a little bit off. And here we go again. Mark missing the bottom. Little contact through 1 and 2. Everybody stays the right direction. And Copenhagen retakes the lead. And this is where, if you're that 24 car, deep breaths. And oh no, that is the 8 of Ban 1. Signaling he's going to come down this time. And he's going to let the leaders by. Does that mean that the 62 are doing work? I believe that means that doing work is ahead of the 8 of Ban 1. As like I said, this is about where we're inside of 20 to go. So this is the money stop. The stop that could seal your fate. 19 coming out. But it's all about what this 24 does, or 22 does. 24 just now exiting his pit box. The 22 electing to stay out, now coming down this time. The 62 are doing work. Coming down with just about the rest of the field. Everybody hugging before their pit stop. That is mandatory in this game. You must hug someone before you enter your pit box. It's a sign of sportsmanship in this game. Because now here is Copenhagen. This is, I believe, to get his lap back. This will be for position. As a 22 did his job. He hugged the 8 car. Now the 24 off of turn 4. There's the 22 up ahead. And it does look like the short pit by about a lap or two is definitely paying off. Copenhagen gonna have a gap. Because right now, yes, it is Copenhagen, your leader. And there you see the gap between first and second. Copenhagen's pit crew does some miracle work. Mark McAtack has no help. This is where you just run qualifying laps. Hug the bottom. Just run your line. That's all the 24 needs to think right now. Run what that car can. Like I said, he's going to miss the bottom early. Remember, he sets that car up tight, so it's going to drift up early, but as the run goes on, that handle will come to him. That car will just keep getting faster throughout the run. The 22 sitting second. Garb, 2.5 plus removed from this fight as he runs in third. And we saw the 8. A band 1, slow on the track. Excuse me, slow on the track. The 62 of doing work. Looking to lock himself in now to the round of 12. We'll get to that at the end. But right now, the battle is up front. 1.3 seconds separates the 24 from the 22. Look at how well Mark McIntyre can wrap that bottom. Every lap he can do that. Gets him closer to the 24. And lapped traffic up ahead. The 38 and the 3. Indy and the Slingshot. Oh, the 24 misses the bottom there. That's going to hurt him. 0.8 of a second as we have 10 laps to go. We're coming to 9. Mark McIntyre, so good through 3 and 4. We've seen him lap after lap be able to hug that bottom and really close in on the 24. Oh, the 24 really missed the turns 1 and 2. The gap closing even more. 8 to go. Coming to 7. The 38 pits ahead. Mark has caught the 24's draft. It doesn't matter what the 24 does now. Defense, defense, defense is what the 24 has to do. 6 laps. This to bring the flag. Oh, a car around the 99. Parks it up against the wall. No caution. Hooty-hoo, definitely gonna need those bidets when this one's over. As the 24 trying to play defense, hugging the bottom, forcing Mark to go on the high side. If you're gonna pass me, it's gonna be up high. Mark actually with a run. Can he sustain it? That's the problem. You can get a run, but you have to capitalize on it when you have it. And he's got it. We're falling from the top down. Sorry, this is actually 5 to go. Sorry, this will be 5 laps remaining. I hope they do this for 5 laps. This is going to be sick if they do. Copenhagen with a preferred line. Mark McIntyre with the outside momentum. Trying to win from the top. Cope missing the bottom. Now side by side again. Mark loses the fight. Copenhagen to the grass. He loses the lead. Mark McIntyre with 3 to go. is now miles ahead, or at least what feels like miles. Cope just got squirrely out of 4. Shot to the grass, and that allows the 22 to go by. Mark McAtack trying to add to page 2 of his win total. Trying to make it 8. 3, now 2 laps to go. Copenhagen had the car. You see the 8 on the bottom. I think that's his conceding. So I believe that should lock the 62. And white flag is in the air for the 22. The 62 should be effectively locked into the championship 4. Mark McAtack, though, down the backstretch. With a 3 up ahead, that won't matter. He could coast it from here. Mark McAtack will win the season finale at Texas. Copenhagen lost his horseshoe somewhere in turn 3 with about 4 to go. He'll finish second still, though. A nice top 3. And the 15 of Garv will finish in third. 78 of 19 millimeter will finish 4th. Pushing P. Fulton in the 18, rounding out your top 5. Team 95-6, Chief 7th, 62 at doing work 8th. 9th is Jay White, and Dog Pound gets a top 10 to end the regular season. And man, oh man, so much happening today. Strategy calls to win stages. The playoff drama at the end between Band 1 and Doing Work. The fight alone for the lead between Copenhagen and Mark McAtack. I was so hoping that would last for the whole 5 laps. But a lap and a half was all we got. As we wait for the top 3 to jump up in here with us as we get set up for post-race interviews. As Mark McAtack is up.
How we doing, sir?
Good.
You talk to these boys about showing off line. This makes me have to scroll down through the friends list a lot longer.
I know.
There we go. Alright, they're invited.
Very good.
Hopefully it was a decent call.
That middle bit was rough. No, I'm kidding. It was. Yeah, no, it was a good run.
Alright.
I saw Garv, I think, just jump.
Copes. Yep. Cope's here, just waiting on Garv, but he's
it was Cope I saw jump in. Oh, okay, whoopsie. There's Garv.
There's Garf.
All right, we got the top 3 in here. Let everybody get settled, kick their feet up after a hard-fought season finale. Regular season finale, that is. And we start with the third place driver, the 15, Garv.
How are we doing, Wallbridge?
We're doing good. You got that.
Good.
I was expecting some really strong strategy calls out of you after what I saw from stage 1 to get that stage win, but you were able to just keep that 15 in the top 3 to really put an exclamation point on your regular season. Walk me through the run. Was there anything really you could do to try and get a little bit closer to that top 2 at the end?
Nah, not at the end. My car was built for a strategy, and that's it. I gave up a little speed in my setup for a strategy, and the caution in the third stage took care of that. Had we went caution free in the third stage, I think I had the car and the strategy to get it done, but that's racing. It didn't work out. I was pretty fortunate to hold off and finish third. I was pretty happy about that. I got no complaints. I adjusted on the car a little bit as the race was going on to see what I could do to help it and what would hurt it, and it really just wanted to be left alone. So for the most part, I just drove it how it wanted to be driven, and we ended up finishing third. Can't complain.
Yeah, and you got a pretty strong start to the round of 12 here. Moving on in, as I should, because I'm a professional, have the schedule pulled up.
Richmond's the first race.
Yeah, we actually have a good mix here of the short track at Richmond, the Indy Roval, so that'll be awesome. Maybe. And then you got Darlington. Is there one of those tracks that you could mix some strategy in there, have the car for, to try and lock your, really solidify yourself into the round of 8?
I feel I'm the strongest of those 3 tracks would have to be Richmond. I got a really good car there. Indy Roval, that's a road course. Just chalk that up to Mark McAtack. It's just the way it is. And Darlington, I prefer to just put the car on the trailer and leave it there. I don't even care to go there. But I'll work on it this week, next week, and see if I can get something figured out. I think the last time we raced there last season, I was much better than previous seasons, but it's just not a place for me. But I think Richmond would be the place for me.
All right. Well, we can't wait to see the run you put on in the round of 12, and we look forward to seeing you at Richmond next week.
Okay, I got a couple plugs if you don't mind.
No problem.
I want to thank Mark McAtack for everything he does for this league. All the help he gives me, allowing me to race with these guys. And I have to put a big shout out to Jake Racer 80. He helped me build this setup. I mean, the majority of it was something he just dreamt up real quick. I put it in and adjusted on it, worked on it, and we had a good strategy, and I think it would have paid off without the caution in third stage. So I owe him a huge thanks. I owe a lot of my success to him.
All righty. As now we move on to our second place driver, the 24 of Copenhagen. And boy, my heart broke when I saw you lose your horseshoe in turn 3 and go running through the grass out of 4. But you had a hell of a run. You were there at the end. Just walk me through that last lap. What happened coming out of turn 4 that just sent you into the grass?
I think it dates back to pit road. I went down 2 clicks on the wedge, and it was getting a little free, but I figured since it wasn't a full fuel run, um, we threw wrenches at it all day, seeing what would stick. I was mainly behind people damn near the whole race. I'd get out in front, and car just felt like it bogged, and that was partially me not entering the corner right, exiting right. Um, Strategy all day. I didn't think it was going to be any, but I think we were mid pack on strategy of how good we were, but straight speed, it was pretty great. Coming out of four there, side by side with Mark, I wasn't straight enough coming off to really point myself in the right position. I mean, I felt like if we stayed side by side, I think he was going to edge me out, but it damn sure would have been a closer race. Good race to him. Seriously, he's one of the best, and if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. So, just fell short, but we're logging some of these races up and finishing in the top three. Definitely on a hot streak. So I just want to thank the guys in here. I know it's a regular season finale. I want to thank every single person in here. Solid group of guys. If you need help, you can lean on them. Just proud of this league. Proud to be in here. Humbled because they whoop my ass from time to time. So it's definitely a humbling experience, and definitely love to be in here. Sick today, fighting through COVID. It's definitely a lot of battles going on. So just looking forward to next week at Richmond. Richmond should be one of my better tracks out of the three that you mentioned. Definitely a cookie cutter race. Indy, Roval, that should be fun. Hate that track, but should be fun. And I don't know the other track. I just know the two. But yeah, pretty excited.
Darlington was that third one.
Darlington can kiss my ass too.
All right, brother. Well, hey, congratulations on getting into the round of 12. You are locked in, and we look forward to seeing the run you put on as we move into Richmond next week.
Absolutely. Thank you, Wolbridge.
Yes, sir. And now we move on to race winner, who on the season I think has to flip the page to keep adding tallies to his win column, the 22 of Mark McAttack.
Hey.
And boy, you were all through the top five today. There were some points you were in third, some points you were in fifth. It was not the Mark McAttack show today, and you even had to fight just to get the win today. I was really hoping to see you and Cope go that full 5 laps side by side. I thought that would have been sweet. But you ended up pulling it out anyway? Just walk me through it.
Yeah, definitely. I kind of expected that race to kind of go that way, especially the draft being so potent and so strong as it is. Really, anybody has a chance to win that race if you put yourself in the right position. So, yeah, just kind of the ebbs and flows of the race. Sometimes you can get up to the front and lead, and sometimes you kind of get shuffled out, and you kind of just had to ride a little bit. So, I tried a little bit of a different strategy. Kind of me and Doohan were on the same strategy for most of the race until he kind of had his issues towards the end. Trying to stay out a little bit longer and try to kind of have the tire advantage at the end. Didn't work in the first two stages all that well, but last stage I knew when it was going to be a 2-horse battle between me and Cope. I wanted to have the fresher tires for the end of the race, so I decided to stay out a little bit longer than he did on the final stop. And yeah, had he not got loose, it would have been close. I think I probably would have edged him out with just because of the tire advantage, but it's really hard to hold it on the outside line. So it would have been challenging. You never know what could happen in these races, but yeah, overall, Texas is Texas, as we all say. It's just one of those tracks. Playoffs start next week. Everything resets, so be 12 drivers battling out for a championship. Should be really exciting to see how everything shapes out. And yeah, the first three races, like you said, are different, diverse types of tracks. So who knows who has a strong edge where? But we'll find out as we go along. But looking forward to it.
All right. Well, congratulations on ending the regular season off with a win. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that you are the regular season champion.
Yep.
And so, congratulations on that as well. And then we will look forward to seeing you kick off the playoffs at Richmond.
Alrighty. Yes, sir. Appreciate it, Walbridge. Thank you.
And that will do it for the top three. An up and down race for many at Texas today. It took me a second to remember where the hell we were. But Mark McAtack, the clear winner today. Put up a fight by the 24 at Copenhagen. The luck just ran out through 3 and 4. But Richmond on tap next week. A lot of drivers feeling confident about it. We hope you will be there to witness it, to kick off the round of 12 and Season 3's playoffs. As that will do it for us here tonight. Join us next week, Tuesday at 9 Eastern Time, for the first race of the round of 12. But that will do it for us here. Good night, everybody.